My fiancé urged me. I misplaced the ring at the gym. Please forgive me. I replied calmly. Don't stress about it. Then I shared a reward for its return on social media. Just wait until she sees who comes forward to claim it. I'm 33 and facing what my fiancé calls a lost engagement ring, even though it's not lost at all. I've been with Melissa for 3 years and engaged for 6 months. The engagement ring set me back $8,000, a considerable amount on my electrician's income, but she had been hinting at it for months. It was a classic round diamond with a white gold band, just as she requested. Everything seemed fine until last Tuesday. Melissa returned from the gym looking upset, saying she had something serious to share. Babe, I'm really sorry. I lost my engagement ring at the gym. I took it off during my workout and forgot to put it back on. When I remembered and went back to check, it was gone. She was in tears, repeatedly apologizing and expressing how terrible she felt about the money I had spent. She seemed genuinely heartbroken. My initial reaction was disappointment, $8,000 down the drain. But accidents happen, and I didn't want to make her feel worse. Don't worry about it, I reassured her. It's just a ring. We'll find a solution. She hugged me tightly, calling me the most understanding fiancé in the world, and promised to be more cautious with the replacement. But something felt off about her entire story. Melissa had been acting strangely about the ring recently. A couple of weeks ago, I noticed she wasn't wearing it when she got home from work. When I inquired, she mentioned that she had started taking it off during the day due to swelling in her hands. Then, at her sister's birthday party last weekend, 3 different people asked her about wedding plans. Each time, she changed the subject or avoided the conversation. I thought she was just feeling overwhelmed by the planning, but the gym story was troubling. Melissa is usually very careful with her things. She's the kind of person who counts her change twice and never misplaces anything. The idea that she would forget a diamond ring at the gym seemed out of character. Plus, there was the timing. We had just discussed setting a wedding date the previous weekend. Melissa had been hesitant, saying she wanted to wait until after she got her promotion at work. She mentioned feeling stressed about making big decisions. That Tuesday night, I couldn't sleep. Something in her story didn't add up. So, Wednesday morning, after she left for work, I decided to investigate. My first stop was the gym, a small local place where everyone knows each other. I spoke with the manager, a woman named Carol, who has been there for years. Hey Carol, my fiancée Melissa thinks she lost her engagement ring here yesterday. Is there any chance someone turned it in? Carol checked the lost and found box. No ring. But then she said something intriguing. Melissa had been acting differently lately. Normally, she's chatty and sociable, but in recent weeks, she had been more reserved. Plus, yesterday, she left in a hurry with a guy named Ryan, who had started coming to the gym a couple of months ago. Ryan, a name I hadn't heard before. What does this Ryan look like? I asked. Tall, dark hair, maybe in his late 20s. They've been seen chatting a lot during workouts. They seemed friendly. My stomach sank. Melissa had never mentioned meeting anyone new at the gym, let alone befriending someone. I thanked Carol and drove home with my thoughts racing. When Melissa got home that evening, I decided to test her story. I swung by the gym today to check their lost and found. No luck with the ring, but Carol mentioned you left with a guy named Ryan yesterday. Who's that? Her face paled for a moment before she regained her composure. Oh, that's just Ryan. He's relatively new at the gym. He offered to help me search the parking lot for the ring. It was kind of him to offer, but her quick response made it seem more suspicious. That was nice of him. How well do you know Ryan? Not very well. We just started talking because we use some of the same equipment. On Thursday, I decided to post a reward notice on social media to see what would happen. I created posts on Facebook, Instagram, and our local community group. The message was straightforward. Lost diamond engagement ring at Fitness First Gym on Tuesday afternoon. Sentimental value surpassing the monetary worth. Offering a $500 reward for its return, no questions asked. Please contact me if you have any information. I included a photo of the ring taken right after I proposed, along with my phone number. Melissa saw the post that evening while scrolling through Facebook. Babe, what are you doing? I told you I lost it at the gym. Posting on social media will just raise your hopes. It can't hurt to try. Maybe someone found it and doesn't know how to return it. She appeared uneasy with the attention the posts were receiving. A few friends commented offering sympathy and promising to share the posts. By Friday afternoon, I received my first real thrilling response, a text from an unknown number. I saw your post about the ring. I think I know what happened to it. Can we meet somewhere to talk? I arranged to meet the person at a coffee shop near my work and told Melissa I was meeting a potential lead about the ring. The individual who arrived was a middle-aged man named Frank. He seemed uncertain but determined to share something. I don't like getting involved in other people's affairs, but I think you should know the truth. My heart began to race. What do you mean? My wife works at Premier Pawn on 5th Street. On Tuesday evening, she came home talking about a young woman who had pawned a beautiful diamond ring. The description matches your post exactly. Frank showed me a photo his wife had taken of the ring in the display case. It was undoubtedly Melissa's ring. Is it still there? As of yesterday, yes, but they're asking $7,500 for it. These places mark things up quite high. Frank provided me with the pawn shop details and left. I sat in that coffee shop for another hour trying to process what I had learned. Melissa hadn't lost the ring at the gym. She had pawned it for cash and fabricated the entire story about losing it during her workout. But why? We had decent savings and no significant financial issues. What did she need money for that she couldn't tell me about? That evening, I didn't mention the pawn shop to Melissa. Instead, I began paying closer attention to her behavior and looking for other signs of dishonesty. On Friday night, she received several text messages that made her smile in ways I hadn't seen in months. She always kept her phone face down and would quickly check messages without letting me see the screen. On Saturday morning, while Melissa was getting ready, her phone buzzed with a text. I was close enough to see the preview on the lock screen. Thanks for yesterday. Can't wait for our weekend trip from Ryan. Weekend trip? Melissa had told me she was visiting her sister this weekend and said I should enjoy having the house to myself. Everything clicked into place. The strange behavior about the ring, her hesitation about wedding planning, the guy from the gym, pawning the ring for cash. Melissa was having an affair with Ryan and had pawned my engagement ring to fund whatever they were doing together. Update 1. 5 days later. 5 days since I discovered the ring was pawned, and this situation has escalated just as I suspected it would. On Saturday, I went to Premier Pawn to confirm what Frank had told me. The ring was there in their jewelry case, priced at $7,500. The manager confirmed that someone matching Melissa's description had pawned it on Tuesday for $2,800 cash. I didn't buy it back right away. I had other priorities. Saturday afternoon, Melissa left for her supposed sister visit. I waited an hour, then drove by her sister's house. Melissa's car wasn't there. I called her sister directly. Hey, Jenny. Is Melissa coming over today? Melissa? No, I haven't heard from her this week. Why? She said she was visiting you this weekend. Must have gotten my wires crossed. So Melissa was definitely lying about her whereabouts. On Sunday, I updated my social media post with new information. Update. Thank you to everyone who shared my post about the lost engagement ring. I've learned that the ring was actually pawned at Premier Pawn on 5th Street Tuesday evening. If anyone has information about why my fiancée would pawn her engagement ring for cash, please contact me privately. This update garnered more attention than the original post. Several friends commented, asking what was happening. A couple of people shared it with concerned reactions. On Monday evening, Melissa came home from her sister visit looking relaxed and happy. How was your weekend with Jenny? Great. We had a wonderful time catching up. That's nice. I called her Saturday looking for you, but she said she hadn't heard from you this week. Melissa's face displayed several emotions before settling on panic. I meant to call her, but we ended up just texting. She probably forgot. She seemed pretty clear that you weren't coming over. There must have been some miscommunication. Monday night, I confronted her about the pawn shop. Someone contacted me about my reward post. They say you pawned the ring at Premier Pawn Tuesday night. She immediately became defensive. That's absurd. Someone is obviously lying to get the reward money. The pawn shop has security footage and paperwork. Want to explain why you pawned your engagement ring? Her denials crumbled quickly when faced with concrete evidence. She admitted to pawning the ring but claimed it was for emergency car repairs she was embarrassed to discuss. Why didn't you just tell me you needed help with car repairs? Because you've been stressed about money, and I didn't want to add more pressure. What about Ryan? What about him? The guy you're having an affair with? The one you went away with this weekend. She tried to deny it, but I had seen too much evidence. Eventually, she confessed to the affair, claiming it had only been going on for a few weeks and didn't mean anything. It's just a physical thing. I love you. Ryan doesn't mean anything to me. You pawned my engagement ring to fund your affair. That's not why I pawned it. Then why did you need $2,800 in cash? Long pause. Ryan's been having some financial issues. I was helping him out. So, she had pawned my $8,000 engagement ring to give money to her affair partner. Update 2. For weeks later. For weeks since my final social media post, and the consequences continue to unfold. The affair and the ring situation have impacted more than just our relationship. The social media posts reached our entire social circle over time. Friends shared it, family members commented, even colleagues saw it eventually. It wasn't viral in the internet sense, but it definitely spread throughout our community. Melissa attempted damage control by telling people I was exaggerating the situation and that pawning the ring wasn't connected to the affair. But too many people had seen the timeline, and her explanations lacked credibility. Her family was particularly upset. Melissa's mother called me to apologize and asked if there was any way to resolve the situation. I explained that pawning engagement rings to fund affairs was a deal breaker for me. Her sister Jenny was furious with Melissa for using her as a cover story. It created awkward situations where Jenny had to explain that Melissa hadn't actually been visiting her. Ryan's situation became complicated when his roommate figured out what was happening. The roommate knew about my social media posts and connected the dots regarding Ryan's sudden influx of cash and new relationship. He wasn't pleased about Ryan bringing affair drama into their living situation and asked him to move out. Ryan had to find new housing while navigating the social fallout of his role in breaking up an engagement. Melissa's work environment became uncomfortable when colleagues saw the social media posts. While her personal life didn't directly impact her job, the ongoing drama created a tense atmosphere. 3 weeks ago, I returned to Premier Pawn and repurchased my ring. It cost me $7,500 to buy back my own $8,000 ring, but I wanted it back on principle. I posted a photo of the ring with a simple caption, "Ring recovered," looking for someone who won't pawn it for affair money. This post garnered supportive comments from friends, but mostly I was just relieved to have closure on that chapter. 2 weeks ago, Melissa tried to reach out to me through Jenny. She wanted to meet and discuss the possibility of getting back together. Jenny said Melissa realized she had made a huge mistake and wanted to make amends. I declined the meeting, telling Jenny that Melissa had shown me who she was when she thought I wouldn't find out. Trusting her again would only set me up for more elaborate deception. Last week, I heard through mutual friends that Melissa and Ryan's relationship had fallen apart without the excitement of secrecy and forbidden romance. They discovered they didn't have much in common beyond physical attraction. Ryan also couldn't continue providing financial support without income from his previous living situation. Their relationship ended when the practical realities set in. Melissa temporarily moved back in with her parents. Her social circle shrank as friends took sides or simply avoided the drama. This weekend, I heard Melissa has been telling people she's the victim in this situation, claiming I violated her privacy and humiliated her unnecessarily on social media. She is arguing that the affair was a temporary lapse in judgment that didn't warrant destroying her reputation publicly. The responses from mutual friends have varied, but mostly they lack sympathy. Most people believe that pawning an engagement ring to fund an affair crosses lines that cannot be uncrossed. Yesterday, Jenny called me, asking if I would consider meeting with Melissa one last time. She said Melissa was genuinely remorseful and had learned from her mistakes. I explained that the issue wasn't whether Melissa would repeat her mistakes. The issue was that she had proven herself capable of elaborate deceit and theft when it served her interests. I need to be with someone I can trust completely. Melissa demonstrated that I can't trust her when she thinks I won't discover the truth. Final update. 3 months later. 3 months since I posted that reward notice, and everything has settled into new patterns. Time for the final update, as everyone has found their new normal. Melissa's situation stabilized at a lower level than before. She found a small apartment and returned to her routine, but her social circle remained limited, and her dating prospects were complicated by the story that had circulated through our community. She never fully regained her previous social standing. While some friends forgave her, others kept their distance, and new people she met often heard the story. Eventually, her relationship with her family improved somewhat, but remained strained. They provided basic support, but clearly disapproved of the choices that led to this situation. Ryan moved to a different part of town and largely disappeared from our mutual social circles. The affair cost him his living situation and most of his local friendships. 6 weeks ago, Melissa made one final attempt to reconcile. She wrote a lengthy letter apologizing for everything and asking if there was any chance of getting back together. The letter acknowledged that she had made terrible decisions and expressed understanding of why I couldn't trust her. She claimed to have learned from the experience and wanted a chance to prove she had changed. My response was brief. I appreciate the apology, but I'm not interested in reconciliation. You revealed your true self when you thought I wouldn't find out. She replied, asking if I would ever be able to forgive her. I explained that I had already forgiven her for my peace of mind, but forgiveness doesn't mean giving her another opportunity to deceive me. You are capable of elaborate lies and theft when it suits your purposes. That's not something that changes with apologies. Last month, I began dating someone new. She has heard the entire story about Melissa and the ring situation. Her reaction was that anyone willing to pawn their engagement ring to fund an affair clearly didn't value the relationship or the commitment it represented. The difference is striking. This new relationship is built on total honesty. No secret phone calls, no mysterious weekend trips, and no doubt about whether I'm being told the truth about basic facts. I still have the engagement ring. I'm not sure what I'll do with it long term, but for now, it serves as a reminder to trust my instincts when something doesn't make sense. The social media posts created a record of what transpired that people in our community still remember. Melissa will likely always be known as the woman who pawned her engagement ring to fund her affair. Some might consider that harsh, but I view it as simply accurate. Future romantic partners deserve to know what she is capable of when she thinks she won't get caught. Melissa learned that affairs have consequences beyond the romantic relationship. Deception and financial betrayal create reputations that are difficult to escape. Ryan learned that helping someone betray their partner comes with social costs. Relationships built on excitement and deception rarely survive exposure to reality. I learned to trust my instincts and investigate when things don't add up. I also learned that some betrayals reveal character flaws too significant to overlook. The reward post wasn't really about recovering the ring. It was about uncovering the truth. The post led me to Frank, who directed me to the pawn shop, which ultimately revealed the real story about what Melissa was doing. If I had accepted her gym story, I would have eventually married someone capable of stealing from me to fund her affair. The reward post saved me from that future. Melissa wanted the thrill of her affair while keeping the security of our relationship. She attempted to use my money to finance her betrayal while planning our wedding. She discovered that choices come with consequences, and that deception eventually surfaces. The social media posts weren't about revenge, they were just sharing information. People deserve to know what really happened rather than accepting Melissa's cover stories. Everyone received exactly what their choices earned them. Melissa chose deception and theft to support her affair, and she faced social consequences and a damaged reputation. Ryan chose to help destroy my relationship, and he suffered social fallout as well. I chose investigation and truth over comfortable lies, gaining clarity about who I was truly engaged to and escaping before making a bigger mistake. The ring was merely jewelry, but discovering Melissa's true character was valuable information that prevented me from marrying someone who would steal from me when it suited her interests. Sometimes, the most valuable insight is learning what someone will do when they believe they won't be caught.